No, because that improvement fund is a fund in and of itself.
And is that also for the park project money?
Mm-hmm. That's where park project monies and stuff come from.
Where does the park project money come from?
That's where it comes from. Out of that fund, always.
And other sources as we can
If
get.
they need more, that's up to the council. They can add as much to it as they want as a capital project. If you had $1 million capital project, but there's only $250,000 in this fund, they're adding the other $750,000 if that's a project they want.
Well, here's my question. If Nancefield Projects has $15,000 and we as a park board haven't decided where to use that, next year will it be 30,000 or will it just be the same 15?
No.
That's an expense projection.
That's an expense projection.
Okay. I'm sorry, I see that now. Versus a revenue. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, because there are no revenues from Nancefield.
Okay. Yeah. Obviously.
No, there are none.
Ticket sales. Okay, so we are on May, correct? Did anything change from April to May?
I don't think it was a change, but I'm waiting for somebody to ask about the $7,200 out of city signs. And that is for the Christmas pole decorations that finally arrived.
Yay.
Surprise, I got no email notice. They just showed up, but that's good. We'll take them. That's the 4-foot and 6-foot for the Westport Parkway, the big one.
So it looks like there's another 60,000. We'll have a new park before we know it. Mm-hmm.
This is Cindy. I'd like to approve the May budget.
This is Barbara. I'll second it.
All in favor? None opposed?
Thank you.
Since we're recording now, should we all say our names for recording purposes? Do you need us to do that? We're good. Okay. All right. Discuss, consider, and act on expenditures and planning of future projects and events. So our upcoming event is listed first of fireworks / Independence Day celebration on July the 1st. And we will not have another meeting before that event. So anything that we need to decide needs to be decided today. So who's going to volunteer? Who's going to be where? All that stuff. It is on a Friday.
I have a question. I know the parade was canceled. And so do we have some funds that are saved that could be used for something else since the parade was canceled?
So what we need to do is go through this list first and approve all of the things like portable toilets and lights that we need, and then we'll see, where we're at. But I do have the 2 quotes for the foam party. I have a quote for the train, and I have a quote for face painting and lights and porta potties. And one more thing. somehow I have Christmas and not that one. Ones we worked on. Let me pass these to you, Sarah.
Did we not vote? Remind me. I don't have the minutes in front of me. Do the light poles in the restrooms last time, or did we say we're gonna do it this time?
No, we discussed it and then, Public Works, price that,
Got it.
that's for that. Lot of that.
Oh, cool. It's a foam thing. It's a foam party. I had a cousin that was after school, thought they had a foam. And it would be great for the kids and hypoallergenic. Cooling. It's at dusk, 9. Dark 30, 9-ish. Well, it starts at 6. It starts at 6. That's okay.
Okay, so if we have, can we start with the things that we need, like the toilet? What are our toilet issues, David? How much does it cost? How many do we need? Okay,
I think they can.
we'll go for necessities here.
Yeah.
And then how many vendors do we have signed up? Okay. 12? Yeah, I see it up
Yeah.
here.
The restaurants are gonna cost us $883. And 600 on the light, so $1,500.
And how many light poles are there? How many light poles do we need? 3?
3 of them.
Do we-
I guess that was my question. It looked like our budget was 25. This is 22. 22.5 is everything. Was that, or did we have expenses before? Is that foam thing on here?
Because that's new. We have-
So
we
at
have-
22.5 for the foam.
Foam, we have
around-
2 different estimates over here on the
Yeah, we
phone.
haven't talked about the estimate yet.
Okay.
3
So-
estimates.
So do you want us to go ahead and approve this and then we talk about the foam? And individually, or can we list them?
But, yeah, let's get the 2 essential things like the porta potties and the lighting. And then if
Exactly
we
what I
want
was
the foam
asking.
thing instead of some
Right.
of the others, then.
Right, okay.
Mhm.
All right, this is Barbara. I would like to move that we approve up to $900 for portable restrooms.
This is Cindy, I second.
All in favor? None opposed?
This is Barbara. I'd like to say we approve $600 for lighting for the Independence Day event.
Rented light.
This is Cindy, I second.
Barbara motion, Cindy second. Got it. Trina, we're good. All in favor? Motion passes. I was trying to make sure we weren't talking faster than you can write. Okay, so now we have the essential items. David, is there anything else we need that we don't have to?
Okay, I think we're going to need, David, a little bit more supplies for parking and signs.
Yeah, we were talking about that, needing some additional sign money to buy some stuff. We need to buy some new rope, strap, tape, and all that kind of stuff for trying to set up as much of the parking as possible. We will need.
We can't take
Did,
that
did,
out
did
of the
anyone, I
city
did
budget.
not. Did anyone
How
reach
much
out to
did
the
we pay
church?
for that last road? That whole tape. It wouldn't even.
I'm asking if anyone reached out to the church group that has volunteered to help with parking in the past. I did not. Oh, we did. Okay.
Yeah, we had to pay them. So
We do, however, have Venture Church has sponsored us as an in-kind sponsor for this event, and they're bringing 3 different inflatables with volunteers for all of that. So we do have some volunteers.
Okay.
That is good news. So we do not need any inflatables. We don't have to purchase.
Nice.
yeah, that's
Can I ask a question on our signs? I don't see anything in the budget for that. Is there anything in the budget for signs in here?
No, but we still have some money left, and then we also have a separate signs
Okay,
budget line. But if we haven't approved the other things yet, so we still, like, to me, it's better to get the essential things like the toilets,
Correct.
right, before we start, no offense, having
completely
foam.
agree.
So people need to pee.
Yep.
Yes. So if we need rope, then do we need to budget for that? How much money are you talking for ropes? Do you need cones or like poles with a PVC tube? Like what are we talking?
no. Yeah, where did we get them? That's what I was looking for. 'Cause we bought them from somebody. They were cheap. Right over here. Yeah, it's right over here.
Like we've got the rebar in the shed. We could just stick them
Yeah,
in with the
rebar
PVC
stuff's
and
no
the
problem.
thing, right?
All we need is the stuff to go back on it. What's that place? Right over there. That's what I was looking for, so I can't find it.
I mean, do you think $100 covers the flags? I've never bought flags. I have no idea.
Oh, they're talking about those ropes
Yeah, I
that
know,
have
the
the
rope
flags
with
on
the-
them, yeah. And that's a big area to cover
It is.
if we're replacing all the ones that have been torn up.
Yes.
They have some at Costco. They have some nice ones at Costco. Yeah, that one's $45 at Costco. $45.99. But they had a bigger one that was about 70, that was longer, that holds more with wheels. At least that was, 5 days ago. I don't know if they still have them.
Does all of this need to come out of the fireworks budget, or can it come out of our, somewhere else?
So what are we using the coolers for? Just to hold water? Are we providing free bottled water? Have we bought that? $4 for 36 at Costco. We got a flatbed.
Yeah, that's what we did before. Part of pallet load.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have to pick it up, yeah.
What is
Yeah,
this
we
like?
just went over with flatbed truck and one time flatbed truck. Let's see. don't get to steal it from Kevin anymore, so. No. Keep his place is bucket. Yeah, we
Mm.
gotta go up there and send like Winnie people to buy it. Yeah, they don't like you going up there and getting like 100 bags. They're not too keen on that. Yeah, they can. Yeah, we can get it from ready, just the ice. We put it in our own freezer. Fire the freezer up, put it in there. That's not a problem. Yeah, because those flags, I mean, they're like 100-foot roll of them's like $7 or $8. They're cheap.
How many
And I
rolls
think-
do you need?
I think where did Mike get? He got them for less than that.
Shoot high. Shoot $10 a roll. How many rolls do you need?
Oh no, gosh. One single run is about 500 or 600 feet long. Probably, that'll get us a long ways with what we have and new. That should help.
So 200 water, 100 flags. And where are we getting the ice? What are we doing for ice? 200? 100? Well, we have to buy the coolers. If we don't have coolers to put the ice in, what's the point in having the ice? No, I'm saying what's the point if you only have 2 coolers? You can't keep that much ice. You can't keep $200 worth of ice in 2 coolers. Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude.
No, they're about $8. It's 50 for the small. You get it.
So we don't have coolers already?
We have some coolers, but they're kind of rattly.
Yeah.
All right, this is Barbara. Okay, you better make it. You've got it written.
This is Cindy. I'd like to make a motion that we set aside $1,000 for water, coolers, ice, and flags.
Second that motion.
All in favor? Motion passes.
This 22,555 has got the face painter on it. Is that what you said?
Do we have any other essential items that we need to cover?
That's what
Cooler, ice, flags, water,
Yeah, no, that,
toilets,
you already
lights.
got your
We have fireworks.
stuff that you
We
can
have
throw
security.
out for the crowd and all that done. So
We have beach balls.
yeah,
We have a
you
DJ.
got all that stuff. So yeah, well, that's all the things that I know of.
All right,
So-
under this other list on the side, I see ice pop.
How are we going to keep them frozen?
I,
Who's going to stand at the freezer and pass them out?
I think the probability of them melting and competing with our sponsors is not a good idea. Yeah.
No, it's a great idea. I like it. I just don't know how it's going to be executed. Can we do it like in September? At Movie in the Park? At the Movie in the Park? It's cheap. Okay. Movie in the Park.
Okay, so you're at
Okay.
23.5 on expenses.
So we're at 800,
If we approve everything,
8625,
the budget amount
390, hold
on
on.
revenue, are we short
36.
on target? What's the revenue? I'm sorry, the sponsors. It looks like, well, you got it in a spreadsheet, right? What's the number?
Yeah, but it doesn't go towards our budget. I'm sorry, will you go back down just a little? There we go. Sorry, I was looking at those. Okay. 800 plus 1,000. Hold on. 390.
My question is, do we want to pause approval of this for a moment and look at the phone, and then we can decide what priority we want to give these extra things?
Go ahead and look at them. I found one more
I'm
quote
going to go
today.
back for a second. When we're looking at this number, I've got 13,000 as our total. Do we still owe the other 8,000 on pyro? So we're at 21,637 with no entertainment. No, I'm just saying all I did was add the things that are already listed, plus the 1,000 that we motioned for ice, water, and cooler, plus the toilets and the lights, and that's 21,637.
The lights were already added in. I mean, that price is there. And also for the restrooms, that amount was already there, so we don't want to add it in twice. What I don't understand is why her total of 22,550. Oh, that. Okay. Okay. I got it. We have 3,400 approximately.
sorry, if you get foam for an hour, what's the other hour for? Okay,
So that the charge is student at $50 an hour.
so it lasts for the same duration as the other?
Yes, it would be the same as the train.
Okay, okay, that's,
So the train would be 4 hours, the face would be 4 hours. This one,
We're tax exempt, but he will do it for that price.
When we look at the truck, there's only one. It's like you're getting multiple foam machines with the other company.
I was gonna say the square footage. I
Yeah.
think I heard 30 by 30 on one, and that looks like 8 by 8.
Yeah. I mean, if we could get 3 trucks, it would work. Mhm. My only concern about doing this at all is that we haven't advertised it, and parents would need to bring towels. And I mean, that is my only. $30 by $30 on this company. Well, people would have to be in and out. You can't stay in there forever. I don't. Yeah, kind of walk through. Have them line up and run through. I mean, they send people to manage it, so. I know,
You do that on the grass? Or?
yeah.
Yeah.
does anyone know if that melts in the heat?
It's soap bubble. It's like a bubble bath. It's not gonna melt like that.
Yeah, but ours, like if I'm washing my car, the soap pops heat. It doesn't soap. I'm just wondering.
Well, the video I saw was
Was it
just
hot
at
out?
the end of May. It was a school party and it was hot and they were having a blast. And they weren't in swimsuits like in that picture. They were in their school clothes.
So here's
I know.
here's my opinion with someone with kids. I'm gonna get my kid wet at 7, 8 o'clock, and then he's either gonna sit in wet clothes for 2 hours, or I have to find some you know what I mean? I don't. That looks fun, but it's like party's over when he leaves that, and that's my only concern. So staying dry to me, especially if we're picking different events, I like that. I just don't know if it's the right.
Okay,
for
think
4th of
about
July.
this. You're gonna be soaking wet anyway if you're already out there for 2 or 3 hours, and it's a cooling feature.
Right.
It's
Okay.
a way, you know, you walk through and you're gonna cool off a little bit. That's
I have a question. Can we get water misters? You know what I mean? Like
That
a
might
big
even be
water
a
mister
better
pole where you can walk through the water if you're hot and just do like, you know, even if we like I got a soaker hose I can connect to a faucet and just string it up
fire
across the
department come and spray us?
But do you know what I'm talking about when I say mister? They have like those misting machines.
That's right.
I'm going to give my opinion also. So I think that it sounds sticky and gross because if it's hot outside and I'm already sweaty from being sticky, and the 4th of July is not that exciting because I'm going to be there for 4 hours. My kids aren't going in because I'm not taking them to change. And so,
I mean, in the picture, it
Did anybody? Oh, yeah. I also think it's expensive.
And we're talking about starting at 6 o'clock, correct? So the expense we're talking about was 4 hours. If we could have
Yes.
got 2 hours, then that's less.
I have 1307.
And I'm assuming
From
their
6 to
minimum
8.
is, then I'm assuming their minimum is gonna be 2 hours.
I believe so.
Okay.
So this one is $449 each machine, and there's 2 machines for that time.
They've got to be within certain distance of water. Yeah, they have to hook up to your water hose. Which, I mean, the one guy I talked to said he brings a lot of feet of hose, but he still has to hook up to water.
Well, when
All right, let me ask this question. Is it in the budget to have, what is it, face painting, train, and the foam? Is that in the budget? All, I get, okay, so I guess what I'm saying is if all of them aren't in the budget, yeah, how do y'all start ranking them and?
Do we have the balloons anymore? Are we not doing the balloon lady? I'm just looking at previous years, what we've had. Remember what the rock climbing wall cost to provide that? What she charged us in the previous year when we rented it from her? No, there's a lady somewhere around here and she has a huge stand-up rock climbing and she's come before and she's charged And one year we actually paid her to make it free, to make it a free event. And I think the last year we decided not to pay her because it was kind of expensive. But I don't think it was $1,000 for. They run it themselves. Yeah, it's like a family business and they run it. It's called like, what's it called? Mount Up or something?
Ascend rock climbing? No, I haven't reached out to her and talked to her since 2019, but I think it was around 800 that we.
Yes, I'll give my opinion. So I think that I like the train, even though we don't have our regular train guy that we've all loved for all those years. The kids tend to really love the train rides. My kids have always loved it, even they're bigger now, but when they were littler, I rode it with them. And so I've loved the train. I personally, we don't do face painting. Like my kids aren't really into it, so I could care less whether there's face painters or not. I could care less whether there's foam or not. Yeah. So my vote would be to go for the train and let y'all decide what you think about the others. But I also like the rock climbing just because I think it's fun for the older kids to give them something to do.
And the face painting is really predominantly for little kids. Yeah, they love it. Yeah, yeah. For the face painting.
Your kid's been crying.
Do y'all think that if we reached out to the rock climbing people and it was less than $1,000, that would be something that y'all liked over the face painting?
I would. I mean, it's kind of late, but maybe she's available.
Right. I mean, if we can get her, we get her. If we don't, we don't. I mean,
Then I'd be okay with that.
I'm looking at other things we've had. We've got 3 bounce houses. I think if we haven't motioned yet, but if we go for the train, that's $935.
I would kind of like to try the foam for 2 hours, because we don't know what it's going to be like unless we try it.
So I'm skeptical. I don't like the foam, but I agree with the idea of let's give it a shot. I mean, I really do.
Well, and that's the less expensive option might be a good way to
Yeah.
try it out.
Yeah.
Was
Oh,
the
right. There's
And
another.
just do it for 2 hours.
Well,
from
I've got an
6:30
estimate
to
here.
8:30.
If we did it for 2 hours, it would be for that smaller truck. If we just wanted to try it out for a lesser expense, it's $270 for the first hour, $150 for the second. So that would be $320 plus a $10 processing fee, so $330. And we could get them for 2 hours. And just have the truck and see. I mean, it's not as fancy maybe as the one that you have, but at least
Yeah,
it's.
no, that's fine. I just think it's
This
worth
was
trying.
the other. You have that one up, right?
Yeah, he did.
The Howdy Bubblers.
and we would try to get that one
I mean,
started
I think
first
there-
thing.
I think
I
there
would
were
have it
several
start
items
at
did
the
not have time.
right at the beginning, because then
Well,
when they
not
shut
necessarily at
down,
6
it's
o'clock, but maybe
like 6:30 to 8,
It's like
Yeah.
6:30 to 8:30.
and then or even 7 to 9.
once it gets dark, it gets cool, even though it may be a hot day, it may be wet.
Well,
So if we could do it early, that'd
can
be good.
somebody look up when sunset is on the first?
Yeah.
Okay, so right now we're looking at the train for 1,000.
Yeah.
And if we estimate the rock climbing at $1,000, and we can estimate the foam thing at 500,
Yes.
so we spent $2,500. We still got a little bit left in case we need it for coolers or ice or whatever. Okay. This is Cindy. I'd like to make a motion that we okay $1,000 for the train. Katrina?
Katrina, motion to approve $1,000 for the train by Cindy.
We need to do these separately, right?
Cindy, $1,000 motion.
Barbara, I'll second it.
All in favor? None opposed?
This is Cindy. I'd like to allocate $1,000, up to $1,000 for the rock climbing thing if we can get them.
Second that.
I'll second it. All in favor? None opposed? And then the last one?
This is Cindy. I'd like to allocate $500 for the foam truck We can try it out and see what it'll look like.
And I'll second that.
Third, second.
Okay, so who seconded the $1,000 rock?
Matt,
Okay, so, hold on.
and all in favor of the foam? Motion passes, all in favor.
So that was,
So we still have $1,000 left. Yeah, we took off the face painting. Or just change it from TNT face painting, just change the line item to rock climbing. With that, or delete it. I don't even know that rock climbing paint.
we should have. So the water that's on the water hose that we.
Well, I didn't speak to the company that we have accepted, but I know the other company, they asked for permission to come out. They asked for the address because they wanted to come and look at the park. And I would, yes, I would hope that the other company comes out and does that as well in advance, so that they make sure they have enough hoses and stuff to park where you want them to park and have access to water.
So, for the Christmas. Okay, so when we have to draw our map out, that's what we need to do. Didn't I just say that?
So they could kind of pull off their grass. I guess they could start with the phone. Okay.
So do we have a layout of all the vendors and all that too? I'm assuming this water, the foam thing will not be interfering with any of the other vendors. I haven't been to the event, so I'm not sure how it's laid out. Okay, in that first parking lot there by the main parking lot. Okay. Okay. And then we'll have that roped up as well. Okay.
we talked, somebody will need to, set up for the vendors to start at noon that day, so we could use help. The guys are probably gonna have to block the parking lot off that morning. One of our biggest challenges is cars parking in the parking, and, you know, we have an event. So about noon, vendors will start showing up, and it is really helpful. Y'all remember years ago, somebody has to used to meet with the vendors, kind of show them the spots and tell them, blah, blah.
Do you guys lock the parking lot at all? Prior? True. To enforce it.
That is why for a project next year, I am asking the city council to give us money to build pipe swing gates that we can put across both entrances, plus the one over on 156, so that we can, the night before at 10 o'clock when the park closes, lock them off. At least they can't drive through. If they're going to drive, they're going to drive in the grass, because they ain't going to be yanking it in there easy. And hopefully they'll say yes. I think they will, but I don't know.
Well, can the sheriff help us with that some, if he knows?
They, not really.
Yes and no. We'll have security guards,
can,
but they
but
won't be there.
They
till
won't be there in
6.
time.
Right.
I mean, if you tell them just, hey, you can't park here, take a hike, type it, go park.
Well, while you're telling them, 3 more people parked over
Oh,
there.
I gotcha.
I mean, we need all the people we can get, to be completely honest.
Is there any way that, I mean, I guess they can't, but too bad they can't bring the fire trucks in there to block that space.
They can't.
I know.
What time do the vendors arrive?
Noon.
Oh,
And if you need help, I can volunteer for that time too. At noon, if you need more help, I can be available.
Thank
we will take all the help we can get, Mr. Surge.
Yeah, I can't be out in the heat too long.
And I could commit my better half to do the same as well too, so.
Do you want to double check with that one before you put that on public record?
She's already agreed to it.
Okay, okay. Because there's no
Put some
parade.
ice and water in the coolers. No, just the church is going to volunteer. Venture Church is going to volunteer, and Heritage Baptist Church is also a sponsor. But I see those volunteers being at inflatables and around. There will be a. You know, I emailed and asked him that because I always do, but he didn't answer. Maybe. Up by the park. Life Community. Haven't talked to them in years. The how?
Do we have any plan for programming? Like 9 o'clock, the DJ announces fireworks are starting, someone sings the national anthem or anything like that. Have did we do that?
Yes, we do need to do that.
We did like a
and we
national
have,
anthem, right?
We have, the Cub Scouts will be here, and they are going to bring a flag. Only the U.S. flag is the only one they have, but they will be here. They're volunteering to help, and we are probably going to have our stage out, right, David?
Yeah.
And so that we can have, the DJ will be there, and we can have announcements, and they'll throw the, use that big slingshot and throw out T-shirts and
Will he be under the
beach balls.
pavilion? The basketball court? Will he be on the basketball court? Where's he gonna be?
In the parking lot, I think, right?
Parking lot, okay. I was gonna ask, did I miss the vendor setup?
Because it has the premium vendor spaces on concrete seem to be pretty popular. So we're gonna need to, yeah, draw all of our space out.
So you're saying where those 3 cars are next to each other? Right there. Sounds good.
And the mayor has requested that we have someone to read the Declaration of Independence from the stage.
Did he volunteer? I think the mayor could do that. If he wants it read, I think he should volunteer to read it. And if he's not volunteering, then we'll just skip it.
So I wanted to throw that out there because we will have just a short agenda and announce, what am I trying to say? The music and the announcements, and then what do we call it? A military tribute, which I guess is the flag presentation. And we won't have the parade, so less of.
Are we having someone sing? Do we sing the national anthem at the 4th of July? Is that a thing? Am I making that up? Oh, see, I knew we had somebody. Do you want to ask him? Can we ask him if he'll sing for us? And then I'm sure he would. If you need someone to disperse the event, I volunteer.
And he does.
So on the declaration, that's a long document. So maybe the first, I'm embarrassed that I actually had to refresh myself, but maybe the first 2 paragraphs, which is what people are going to be familiar with, but then you get into the, I was going to say it's been a while. I'm embarrassed to admit that,
But I do think having one of the scouts do that.
it is
they
July
would- they-
4th.
when you have a student do it.
No, I agree. It's just so
Yeah.
far we have a commitment from Cub Scouts, and that's the little bitties.
Oh,
I
yeah,
feel
that-
like the Boy Scouts probably will come through, but I don't yet have that confirmation. So I just wanted to throw that out there because we will need to figure it out.
Lisa, that's wrong. Sarah Zimmerman. No, that's my daughter. She's not going to come sing. I'm gonna. I will come for as long as I can. The heat really bothers me on this treatment, so I'll do the best I can.
It depends on the heat for me. I mean, if it's hot, I'm not gonna be there. I can't drag kids out there. So
I should be available. And if it gets too hot, I'll jump in the bubbles. Yeah. So I have a question on the vendors. I know we talked about the bubble with the water and all. Do we need to supply electricity for any of these vendors, or they supply their own power? And if so, do we have the resources for that?
We do not supply power or lighting, but they're welcome to bring their own.
I'm assuming they know that.
Oh, yes, they know that.
Okay.
Most of the vendors are
They've done it before.
regular customers.
Yes.
How would the crowd see it? We're not handing out paper.
Then we'd be picking it
You'll
up.
have too much trash.
We just, for whoever's gonna read it.
So real quick, 2020 is a Boy Scout troop,
Yeah.
so they could probably have more than one reader. Sometimes they'll have one person reads one paragraph, the other person reads the other paragraph. Just kind of so it shares the load a little bit.
And again, they got my email, but I haven't heard from them, so I'll try to see. You know, I sent generic email.
And I have another question too, as far as you talked about volunteers earlier on. I've got kids that are now growing up and all that, but they used to volunteer. They used to get community hours because it was required for
I validate them.
graduation. So that's one way to get kids. I got 2 hours I got to do, right? So volunteering is a great way to doing it. It's something simple as this.
Except
the honors
school's
so-
out right now, so
There's
it's
an
a little
honor
hard.
society at, is it, what's the, Nelson, Byron Nelson? No, what's this one over here? Eaton, over at Eaton, there's a guy that sends me students sometimes that are sometimes helpful and sometimes not helpful, but I do validate their hours. Yeah. So if you have anybody that needs their hours validated, we do sign off on it for sure.
Except it's summer, nobody's getting any hours.
What time will the program happen?
Okay, so the vendors are all open at 6 o'clock and the event starts at 6 o'clock, and I think probably about 7 or 7:30 would be appropriate time for the program, right?
What about right before the fireworks?
About 9:50.
No, I'm saying like, what about 8:30? If the fireworks should be at 9:15, so program fireworks. What do we think?
But if the sun doesn't go down till 9:15.
Let's still be able to see.
Oh, 8:42. Right.
So 7:30 is fine.
7:30.
So 6 o'clock vendor, 7:30 program, 9:15 fireworks.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I'm just going to recap. Tell me if I missed anything. At 12 o'clock, Serge, Cindy, and probably myself will be there just to sort of manage some traffic, just to help people get set up periodically. We might just get a little text going and tag team an hour if it's too hot that day. And
Or take turns.
that's what I'm saying. Take turns and just cycle through. Serge, Cindy. Can you leave your kids for an hour, or do you need to have your kids there? Like, can you come and go back? Are you out? You're working that day? Okay. Oh, I'm just asking. You have a job? How dare you? And Barbara, you're maybe, if it's not too hot, or maybe like the first
Yes,
hour or
and
something.
I do have an appointment at 10:45.
Okay.
And another appointment at 2, so I
maybe
will
the
try
later.
to come for a little while. And
Okay, got it. Okay. So 12 o'clock, we're kind of letting vendors come in. 6 o'clock, vendors will open with all the activities. We have bounce houses, possibly rock climbing or something like that, foam party, and a train. We'll have ice and water provided, as well as vendors set up. Then at 7:30, we'll have a program that includes the Cub Scout presenting a flag, Cub Scouts presenting the flag, national anthem, Star Spangled Banner, or something from Sarah or Mr. Crawford, and the mayor or whoever's going to read the preamble to the Constitution or whatever portion of the Declaration of Independence that we print off. And then 9:15 will be the fireworks. So after 7:30, what do we need to help? Do you need people cleaning up, or do we have staff? Do we need to request staff? Like, how does that work? Are they? Oh, okay. Do we need to hire like a temporary staff person to help with the track? Okay. Okay. And I can do that. I don't mind. I'll be there. Okay.
I mean, they'll be there till midnight.
Yeah, it's a 12-hour day for them, every bit of it.
What
That's why for
about,
me, the hardest thing for me is getting them time to get a break enough so that I don't wear them all out, because they've got to work for 12 hours straight to get this all done.
Y'all need a break about 3. No?
Not really. There's one that sort of works if you hold everything. Yeah.
What about help in the parking lot, directing people for parking? It works good when we have somebody, but
When we do,
don't
it's
have
great,
anybody.
but people are riding. Yeah, no, they're not worried about that.
I have,
No, they're gonna, it's supposed to be, Mike and I already talked about it, it's gonna be locked off because they want everything of theirs locked up anyway. And the fire department is gonna stage, most of their stuff is gonna be staged there anyway. So there's gonna be lots of, a pretty good fire presence up there. I think there's gonna be both, all the grass trucks are gonna be there, and I think one other truck, and then I think the big ladder truck and stuff is gonna be here at this part.
so I just have a question about because it is a different location than it's usually been, and our plan is to be able to watch the fireworks from there. There's going to be lots of people that are going to still try to park in the old Hazlet Elementary parking lot to see the fireworks right there, because that's going to be a sweet location if you ask me. Are they going to be allowed to park there? Okay. Right. So, and on that question from Lessons Learned 2017, we had asked if we can stream the music that goes with the fireworks on our little radio station for people that are not in the park, but maybe parked along the road. You know how we do for Christmas and you tune to the radio station? Can we stream that song with the fireworks when the DJ plays it?
You can, but it won't reach from over here all that way. We did it the last time, but it was done from right there at Nance Field, and it would carry up and down Schoolhouse Road for the most part, but not for somebody sitting over here too far away. We might be able to soon because the fire department is getting, but it will be AM, not FM, is getting a radio.
I was like, I can hear it
station
right
possibly.
about to Sonic. When the Christmas time is on, we can take it down 156, and right before you hit Sonic, you lose it.
Yep.
I mean, we can stick it on the Facebook page if you're interested in tuning to the radio. I mean, is it a hassle to turn that on? I don't know.
No, it's not.
Right.
Yeah, that's always the fun part. We get away with it kind of at Christmas, but like I say, when the fire department gets what they're working towards, then we won't have that problem because it is a 5-mile deal.
Do you want to try it this year and not tell anybody and just let us see how far it goes?
We've already done it before. We did it before because I sat up there, all the way up there at the corner at Schoolhouse and 156, and I was hearing the music from down there on the radio and city truck. Yeah, if they get that all worked out, that you can broadcast it. Not quite the entire city can get it, but everybody basically from Blue Mountain Hill back, for the most part. No, I was talking with Kurt about it. There's some sort of repeater thing that that shoots to it if you want. I forget how much he said that was going to cost. He was looking into that also as a possibility.
The other question I had is, are we going to turn the lights out? And if we are, we need to make sure we ask the DJ to announce that so people can grab their kids.
Yeah, we'll do it just like we did at National Night Out, how we turned the lights out. Be the same. Well, yeah, because I ain't got no way to turn all them off. They don't.
I'm just looking at old lessons learned.
I have a question when there's a minute. I've been messaging Sarah. And what time does the DJ come to set up? Okay, well, she's just wondering if she would have an opportunity to get with him for a sound check. Okay, so I'll get your, okay. And then she did ask me, she asked me if there would be any pay. She's a graduate, so she's about to leave for Korea to teach. Okay.
It looks good on your resume.
I'll take care of that. Yeah, fair to ask. That's right.
All right, do we need anything else for 4th of July? Or 1st of July?
On field usually between 400 and 500. Yeah, field only, I mean, that's about how many made it on the field. Now, if you talk outside right against the fence and, you know, on the hill and everything around it, there was probably, you know, 1,000. Now then you get, you know, beyond that. Mhm.
And
Yeah, but power, everything else gets
Well,
harder
or
and
at the
harder, and
other
they're too far
end.
away from where most people are.
maybe drag it to the right, down and to the right at the other end of that parking lot, where that one little black car is, or actually it could be closer to that corner, and that way it would be more visible. I think.
There's a weird tree right there, and you won't be able to see very well. You'll only be able to be in the parking lot in the
One
front.
option is
Well,
like,
and
like
you
you're
could,
talking about.
you
turn
have
it-
a big arc here though
facing
where you
north-south.
could.
And you can also, that also works as a blockade, keep people from trying to drive through.
That
So
place
that's
you
always
had
an
it just a second ago where you had it blocked off, can we put it there so that you've got, didn't we do that for La Freak or something, where we had it there?
We have done that with the big stage before during, yeah, it makes a one-way in, one-way out for the vendors once it's set up.
I almost think it's better to not allow through traffic, because there'll be a lot of kids running around, and it's one way in and one way out, and that's it.
Is the stage covered?
It's just a flatbed trailer. See why I want to put where the swing set is, why we need to build the stage right there? That-
I just think he needs to have some shade because he's going to be hot. No. But if it was, it could be turned to face. Is that south? To face
So what if you
where
put
the
them on?
side of the stage was to the pavilion, and then, huh? Okay, well, I'm just throwing the shade. So, yes, put it here. That way, they could see the side,
Only if the new trailer's here. The new trailer you can squeeze in there that way. That one,
Are there any vendors under the pavilion?
if the new trailer makes it here in time, the new trailer could be put in there because you could put it up there with the kids. Just drag it up. You know, that's the good and the bad. The other ones, you know, this high or more off the ground. So if you fall off of that one, it's a long way to the ground.
Will it fit there next to the park building?
Yeah.
Will it fit there on like the east side of the park building? Just on that grass and back up to the side so he gets the shade of the building? No, I mean like a little bit closer to the park building. Like, yeah, like there. Put his back, I would say put his back to the door on the side there where the keypad is on that park board building. And then he faces out kind of a little bit angled, sort of the way you have it positioned. And then it angles out to the. Bleachers.
Remember how hard it is to get that thing leveled up over there. Uh-huh. That's possible.
Does he have his own canopy? I've never seen
No,
him bring
he's
it either,
never
but he's
brought
never been
anything
in the
for
middle
it.
of the afternoon like that.
I don't know. I mean, he sit up there in the middle of Nance Field with not a bit of shade for that whole entire event.
Oh,
There's
that's
no
true.
shade at all up there. Not even a tree.
True.
And he sat there, had no trouble.
Okay. All right, anything else that we're missing? Okay. So movie in the park will be September the 16th. Do we need to pick a movie yet, or are we still far out?
Mm-hmm.
Does Martin want to vote on the movie? Did they say this year? So what do we do? Give them 2 or 3 choices and then they choose? Oh, they gave us their choices. Nice. Okay.
The only one that I added that wasn't.
Is this one? Okay, so we have 6 options. Just to bring you up real fast, Serge, we do a movie in the park that I really like over here at the Space Jam. It's not. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, and so we have like a big inflatable screen, and In-N-Out is coming to provide free burgers. We used to have popcorn, but Martin Realty has sponsored us the last year, and last year they actually brought boxed candy, and the kids ate that up. I mean, it was great. So what we have to do is pick a movie. We have to pay to have the licensing to release the movie. And so our choices are going to be at $465. Luca, Sing 2, Space Jam: A New Legacy, Clifford the Big Red Dog, and this other dog movie that I've never heard of. And then Encanto is an option. The Ghostbusters Afterlife. I don't think that's a kid movie. And Spider-Man. Yeah, that's not going to be a good kid one. Then Martin Realty, since they're sponsoring it, they gave us their first and second choices. Their first choice was for Encanto. Their second choice was for Sing 2. So, Sing 2. Is what? Oh. That Space Jam movie was kind of cute. I got it from the Red Box. It was cute. For $1. I mean, Encanto seems to be popular, I feel like, with the kids, not mine, but with everyone else's. And that was their first one, so I don't see why we couldn't. It's not listed on here, but I'm guessing it's that $465 price.
Yep.
Okay. All right, are we good?
I don't even know what
We
that
need a
is.
motion.
Never heard.
So
This
I,
is Barbara. I move that we purchase the rights for Encanto for the movie in the park, September 16th.
I'll second that.
there's a new movie coming out. Oh, and all in favor? None opposed? Motion passes. And Encanto for Martin Realty's choice.
What that even was.
So will we buy that and then donate it to the library, or is that something the library already has? Okay. Okay. And do we need to? Yeah. Yeah, I've actually even asked her for movies and she's gotten them just as a resident. Pro tip for anybody wanting to rent movies from the library, they're real nice. Do we want to maybe have the ice pops there if it's $10 for, what is it, $20? Do we still have $20 left? Can we get some ice pops? Oh. It is? Okay, where? Ah. I was going to say where the bleachers are. Hmm. Yeah.
That's the easiest spot.
I was going to say over there. What if the train starts coming through in the middle of the movie?
Hold on. Yeah, and then you got slope there, so you could decide whether you wanted to put it up on the higher ground, everybody sitting here looking up at it, or you could put it down here and everybody look down it. No dirt.
We don't have to choose today, though, right? Okay,
No.
all right. So we can talk about that next time. Do we still, do we need a motion for the ice pop? Do we have $20 left to buy some ice pops for that event?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll make the motion. This is Barbara. I move that we buy $20 worth of ice pops from Costco for
Wherever.
the movie in the park.
This is Matt. I'll second.
All in favor? None opposed? We'll have some ice pops. Movies and ice pops, and in and out. Do we, I'm sorry, do we need to let Martin Realty know that we're going to have ice pops just as a courtesy, since I know they brought the candy last time? Just to let him know that. And that doesn't count as food, correct? To interfere with the in and out? It's the selling, okay. All right, and then National Night Out is going to be October 4th, 2020. That is a city-sponsored event. It's free for all, but we do usually set up a table, so mark the date on your calendar so you can take your turn at our table. Hazlitt Hustle is October the 29th, and we have our guy set up. I actually have already gotten an email to sign up for the race. He has already emailed me.
And I believe I already have it on my calendar to come the Friday night before, because that's what I help with.
Whatever he wants. Okay. Do we? Perfect. All right, so Christmas in the Park is going to be December the 3rd. Our first Saturday, we have a train estimate for that event from 3 to 7 p.m. Trackless train with a driver will be $904. I think so. He was the one that did the last. He was all right. I think it's just hard to beat that guy that we had before, but I don't think anybody complained about the train. Do we need to reserve that, or can we wait till next time? Lock him in. Okay. It was very expensive. God, I love it. So the other thing I have here is for the face painting. Again. And it's $1,000 for the 3 to 7 time frame again. So what do y'all think about face painting for Christmas in the Park?
Yeah, it's really not my thing. My kids don't really do it, but
In my
the
note either.
line
The line
always
is
seems
so
to be
long.
huge, so it's popular, and I think we should
Have we
And
done
that's
any?
a better time of year to do that. Not fall.
Have we done any comparison on this price? Because that seems like a lot of money. Do we maybe want to call and see if I can get a comparison to that? I mean, I don't think she does a bad job, but everybody okay with that? Or do you want to book her? I mean, I don't mind calling around and seeing about it. I just don't want to lose her either, so. Okay. Do we want to get the train already? Because I don't think we don't want the train at Christmas. And we can usually afford the train and the ice, at least, right? So that would be 901 train, 1 driver.
This is Barbara. I move that we book the train for $904 for our Christmas in the Park on December 3rd.
This is Cindy, I second.
All in favor? None opposed, motion passes. And we have the reindeer, and do we already have the snow globe thing? Have another one. That's December 3rd. 6 to 9? What time is it? 3 to 9? 3 to 7.
Yes.
All right, we're good for that. Easter egg hunt will be sometime next year, 24,000 eggs or whatever we're at now. Memorial Day celebration, we had one already just last week or something. Was it last week? Yes. And Cindy did a good job. We had a little bugler guy, if anyone watched it. I've been trying to upload the video onto the Facebook page, but I have failed to do that, and I need to send it to my computer.
I just want to say on that event, I just think it was really cool that it wasn't as big of a turnout as it was before COVID, but it was a nice turnout, and there were families with kids, and I just think it's so great to see it. It helps make our world better.
And everybody that was there volunteered, so it didn't cost us, well, it did cost us a little bit because if you noticed the table that was sitting there, that was because our speaker spoke about it. So I hurried around and got that taken care of, but it was neat to have it there. So
I just wonder if there is a monument of that.
I don't know, but having it at the base of the cross from,
It was
that was for
beautiful.
9/11, it just kind of brought it home. And
It did.
everything that we've got for it, we can use year after year after year.
Yeah. It was very nice.
I am going to just very quickly let you hear this because it's like 30 seconds. So last year when it was canceled, this young man went out and played at the memorial anyway. And his dad uploaded a video. So we reached out to him to see if he could play again for us this year at the actual ceremony, and he did. So
And I was talking to the parents last year when he did it.
it was very cool.
Yeah, he was part of the program on CBS for Taps Across America. And last year when he did this, they had to do it 3 times because the train kept coming through and blowing a whistle. And I'll be darned if a train didn't come by and it didn't
It didn't
make
blow.
one
Yeah,
noise
it's
while
great.
that was going on. It was awesome. Yeah.
Anyway, so
It all
that was
turned out
good. So we'll
very
do it
well.
again next year, COVID permitting, whatever things
Right.
happen. I feel like it's fine. It's outside.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yoga and Tai Chi are still running. We need any motions. They're good till September, right?
And could I just put on the record that I understand that Cindy is teaching a class for the Haslet senior citizens on Mondays at the library,
Well,
starting in 2 weeks.
Right. We're trying to establish, I got certified, so I am a yoga instructor now. And we're trying to pick a date that is agreeable with all the seniors, which is interesting because they don't want to get up early.
That's right.
And they can't do it on Thursday because that's senior day. So we've chosen Mondays at 11. We'll see how that works out. But they're a joy. They really are.
Posted on Facebook and all that, so
You can
Katrina,
share it
I
off.
guess you do the Facebook on the Haslet Parks, but when I share it to the neighborhood page, people, thumbs up, like it. So same thing, at least.
'Kay.
There are some.
That you guys had picked a date. So are you doing that at what, who's paying for that?
Nobody's paying for it. It's free or by donation.
Okay.
So I'm either going to donate my time or I'll get a $1 tip, whatever. But I came and demonstrated it for the senior citizens on their Thursday, and there were several of them that were interested. It's just trying to pick a day when they're willing to come back out again. So anyway, we're going to try it. We'll try it out for a couple of times on Monday at 11 and see if that works. And then when we establish a time and a day, we'll put it on Facebook. Okay. Well, I will let them know. Well, and for right now, it's like we're not doing it next week because I'm busy, but then the following week we're going to try it. Then the next week I'm going to be out of town. So it'll be hit or miss for a while, but we can post it monthly anyway. All right. Thank you.
Perfect. So other projects and ideas, we had food trucks from the last meeting. Did that not get carried forward, or are we waiting still on that?
Okay, so here's what we have, and we did not list that separately. We just chose to discuss it under other projects.
Okay,
Because no action is really necessary.
right.
So some of you will remember that we had proposed farmer's market, and
Yes.
that didn't go forward because we really don't have a place to do it. And that was basically the consensus here, is we don't have a place that we can do a food truck night because we can't utilize the whole parking lot. But what we could do is maybe do 1 to 2 food trucks at a time. And the permitting is not different. They just need to register as a vendor with the city. So for example, like Kona Ice is registered, she stays registered year round. And then we would invite them to park in the park, which means that we're gonna get permission for them to do that. I talked to Mike in the permit department, and that is a compromise that we could probably do.
So we couldn't just park 4 food trucks in the parking lot there and let people come with their families like a food
There's
night?
a lot of discussion on compromising their parking. I went out there and counted, and we have 53 parking spaces, and those go really quickly. So that's
Well, and another option, I'll just put this out there, is some of the food trucks, for example, the lobster truck, they mainly go to neighborhoods. My neighborhood doesn't have a place for them to park, but we have some new neighborhoods, and maybe they would have a place for them to park near their, because y'all have a community center.
So we could have a food truck night with Kona Ice and a barbecue place. Maybe feature a different food option 2 months out of the year or something.
Can
what
I
you're
just
saying.
ask the purpose of a food truck event? Is it just to bring the community together?
Yes.
The way I have seen it done, the ones I've gone to, some people take chairs and they sit out there near the food truck, but most people stand in line, they get their food, and they take it home. I mean, that's what I've seen. So it could be either, it depends on how it's set up. But we don't have a lot of restaurants, and so to me, I would like to have some night out option where I don't have to cook.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we were I think, I don't remember who brought it up. I just have a note here, but just the idea of, hey, let's park some food trucks, right? Community event or not, there's no restaurants, there are food truck vendors, like Katrina was saying. Kona Ice has an ongoing permission to be in our park, and so we can't invite them because they have a permit, correct?
No, we can invite them, and anyone we did invite will still need to do the permit process, because that's how we protect ourselves through the health department, is
Okay.
by requiring them to present their certification.
But we weren't trying to make any money off of the event. We just
No,
wanted
it would
to
actually
promote.
cost any food truck at least $25 to get a
The permit.
30-day permit. That's all, 30-day or 6 months are your choices. So anybody we did invite that's not already, and that's just one off the top of my head that I know is registered, but
Well,
But
and
who-
I know that Keller, for example, when they have their,
Summer night.
where you go buy food and stuff, the thing we're not doing, farmer's
Farmer's
market.
market.
When they have their farmer's market, they always have about 4 or 5 food trucks there. And so, I just think we could also use them as a resource to get names of other trucks other than the few that we have on our list.
yeah,
To
it's a
invite them.
changing trend. They sell those
Yeah.
trucks and rewrap them, and
Mm-hmm.
When you're talking about, I've seen this done in one other community, and they do it by neighborhood. They advertise it. They go to Caraway to the deal, and they'll have 2 or 3, and they advertise it in the city on the water bill or whatever. So, hey, Friday, whatever, yada, 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 there's going to be these 2 trucks in Caraway down at, the pool or whatever. And then the next time it's Watercrest, the next time it's
Yeah.
somewhere else. And that works somewhat. It just depends on how the HOAs in the neighborhood like it, because they were doing it, and they did one neighborhood who did not really like all that traffic coming through their neighborhood. that night. Some neighborhoods love it because, hey, that's another reason to have another party, and a bunch of the people that live there hang out down there through the whole time and meet all the people from the other neighborhoods. But some neighborhoods don't like that. It just depends on and whether they have the space.
Caraway's done coffee Saturday mornings, and it circulates around the neighborhood Facebook page. The challenge, if you do a food truck, is there's no place to play. Like there's an open field and there's a pool, and you have to be a resident. So
Right.
the park works because you bring your kids, you eat,
Yep.
let them run around. Some neighborhoods wouldn't be able to accommodate that.
Then we might as well just do it in the park. I mean, I don't know, Hazlet neighborhoods are kind of, yeah. I would say that what if we looked at doing something like August 27th? School started, school's back in. We get Kona Ice because they're easy, and one food vendor that we can find, that a barbecue place, or who's that barbecue guy that takes up 2 spaces? He's not around anymore. I don't know. Yes, if we have one of our vendors at the 4th of July that wants to come back.
I would
or-
really like to invite Cousins Maine Lobster. They were actually on that show that the people they go before those stars and they get funded.
Shark Tank.
Shark Tank. They were on Shark Tank, and then they're local here in Dallas, and they go all over Dallas and Fort Worth. So it's called Cousins Maine Lobster. Whew. And it's a little, food trucks are expensive, more expensive than going to a restaurant, but it is good food. I'm telling you.
I mean, do y'all want to pick a day, like a Friday night or a Saturday night, and see if we can make it happen, or do we want to, I don't know, 22nd-ish?
I wouldn't line it up with the start of school. I think that's chaos. I'd almost.
School starts like the 17th,
And then there's
I'm
Friday
thinking the
night
27th.
football, and so I don't know if the fall. Maybe that is the best. I'm just.
Well, why don't someone
It can be a week
talk
night.
to the food truck and see, because some of them are gonna want a minimum guarantee and stuff. I think it depends on the food truck.
Well, and it can be on a weeknight. It doesn't have to be.
I think it's
Because they
Thursday.
if they come like at 5 or 6, and they're there several hours. So, and on the weekends they schedule twice a day. They're at one location for lunch and another location for supper. So there's a lot of options.
I mean, we can even, October's nice, the weather's good. I mean, we could do it every other month, or we could do it twice a year. But I think if there's some type of recurring theme to it, it's and we're every year back to school because it's August. We're going to have the food truck. So parents know that one night, that first or second week of school, they don't have to cook because there's going to be a food truck in Hazlet. You know what I mean? Like just something that there would be, I don't know. Right.
I mean, you do need to plan. Kona is booked all the time.
Or you just get ice cream or, whatever.
But just don't forget that there is an expense to them to register, and there's a background check required and stuff that, we can't waive.
But if they're not paying any other fee than a permit and they're getting their money, I mean, we're not asking them to pay us $1 a plate or anything. You let us know what you find out. Okay. And then we have Nance Field.
Baseball pretty much over. We do have some money we're going to look at, some fence repairs and some things that need to be done up there at the field for us. I mean, that's off season, so we can try to get a few of those things lined out and see what we can get fixed. That's all, pretty much about it. Yep. Yes.
It's interesting that you say we have a concession stand because
They don't use
I'm
it for that.
never ever been to that field because, I mean, I have, but I don't have any kids that play baseball, so it's not really open. I don't know,
They
that field
haven't used
always,
it now in, yeah, it's been a number of years since the last time they actually opened it and used
I have used the bathrooms.
it. Oh,
Can we use those that concession area for stuff? Like, are we gonna? Because if we're moving the park out of that park, then there's not really. Like, what's the purpose of the concession stand? Let me ask that.
yeah, it was. HSA used to use it at every game because they played most of their games at Nance Field.
But now they're at Firehouse.
And now they don't. So they have somebody that comes down there part of the season and then not all of the season. I don't know how they work it. They show up in a trailer but for the most part, yeah.
It'd be fun to figure out a use for it. There's no graffiti anywhere. Sorry, next.
Also, you mentioned HSA. I know that, seems like I received a copy. Did we receive something about the
Yeah,
HSA
so-
contract?
Here's,
I'm totally punting this one to Matt. I know he was going to read it.
I guess here's what I would suggest. I have no idea when that contract might come up for renewal or consideration.
January to January, every year.
It's auto
council-
renewal.
It auto renews unless council does something in December. So if you are considering, which coming out of this budget season, I'm pretty sure there's probably is going to be some sort of change to the HSA contract.
I was, yeah,
Or
that's
if
what
it
I'm saying.
even is renewed. I'm not sure whether it'll make it this
My general sense is we shouldn't be paying for something we can't use, and we're doing that.
$36,000.
So I think at a minimum, we ought to make a more formal recommendation.
To
I guess in
council.
November to council in December, so they can, I don't know what that process looks like, but
Yes. it would
Well,
have
it's
to.
been discussed internally, and until administration reviews the contract and does something with it, we're waiting on that.
But as a park board, we can make that recommendation formally to the city council.
Mhm.
Right.
yeah.
Oh, you'll be seeing budget stuff within the next month.
I was gonna say, I think at this point, we should express our
How we feel.
concern about that contract to the city council. Because they're gonna start looking at stuff now. And so to me, I think if we can make a motion, maybe you can word it for us.
I was gonna say
This
maybe.
is not an action item, though.
Okay.
Oh, so can we?
So next month, I would
Okay.
think we could make a motion around recommending that it's not auto renewed without changes, or just something to the effect that Park Board would like to recommend changes. So we don't have to make specific recommendations next
Right.
month, but we just say we think it should be changed, and then maybe the month after.
Yeah, that way it puts an automatic halt. Hey, council, we want y'all to not auto renew. Please let's have time to look. at
Don't
this
auto
list.
renew. We'll get into specifics later.
Yes, it has came up.
So, real quick question, new kid on the
Yeah.
block? HSA?
Hazlet Soccer Association.
Okay, thank you.
Hazlet Sports.
Hazlet Sports
Association.
And what do
and-
they, and what do they do for us?
What they do nothing for us. What we found out last meeting was that we spend $25,000 a year with an additional $11,000 a year for electricity, and they give us no proceeds of the fees that they charge their participants. So we
Right.
correct. So that we don't get to use the field as residents because they can use it first. And we don't want to kick them out because we love that the kids are playing and staying active, and it decreases obesity and like promotes all these great things. But we also don't think that if they're getting money, that we should be spending $36,000 a year to not be able to use our park.
We could spend that money somewhere else.
Right.
Makes sense. Thank
So
you.
we want them to still have access to the park, but just with different terms and maybe not the exclusive, what's the word? Exclusivity. There we go, that word. Future agenda. Motion to council. Okay. And that really falls under Firehouse Field because it's what they have most of. I mean, they use Nance Field, but I feel like it's more Firehouse. Am I wrong?
They use, softball uses Nance, and then Select uses Nance. All the other games are at the fire station. Every other one. There's usually average probably 400 down there a weekend playing at any given time, maybe more some weekends. So it's busy, very busy. Now we do have some work going on that's fixing to happen down there. We just finished a topo survey at Fire Station Field to do the big huge mound of material. It's going to be used to regrade out, redo up, and get ready for a project with Tarrant County Precinct 3 paving crew next year to come in and put down a chip seal over the road, parking area to cut down on all the dust and all that fun stuff. So that's we've already got, like I said, the topo done. They're starting the actual design of how high and how much fill we got to wear and what have you to get this all laid out. But that's at least moving forward. Going to get it ready for next year.
Are we still on 5J?
We are on 6B. You need to go back to 5J?
Well, I'll bring up, back in December, we made a motion, just replace 2 of those swings out.
Oh, yeah, no, that falls under 6C. I have it on my notes.
Okay,
Don't worry,
all
we're
right.
coming. You're in the right place. So Firehouse, other than the topo survey, regrading, chip sealing, when do
That's-
we think that's going to happen?
No, the grading and all, we're going to try to get done before the end of this year.
Okay,
Our
nice.
budget year. That's a plan right now. Once we get the design finished over the next couple of weeks, is to then go out. If the estimate comes in what we think it should, we're going to go out and get a contractor and just get it done. I have something for that.
All right, so in Gamble Park, are we going to get new swings?
Yeah, just having time to get it all
Just to-
done. Been shorthanded.
Well, I know there was
I
an
do.
ordering issue the last time we talked to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to find somebody else because they're having problems, or normal people are having problems. Yes, I don't know whether it's
And
just them or is it industry wide. I don't know, but they're having a big
I've been
problem.
waiting for fascia on my house for over 8 months, so.
Oh no, we've got a truck we've had ordered for 16 months roughly now, and we ain't seen hide nor hair of that truck. I think it's still sitting on the shelf. I don't think it's got past that point yet. No.
You remember the types we talked, there was the
The bucket, the bucket swing, and then the other one was
kind of special needs swing.
that special needs swing, the
with the-
one with
with
the
the
high
thing-
back one, remember we looked at?
I
Doesn't
don't
matter.
care. Yeah.
Yeah, none
On
of
it,
us care.
if something matches out there.
Whatever's the cheapest.
does it. It should be a plastic back, plastic for the feet, and something that, like, a harness that swings.
No, you mean the
completely over.
regular one?
The bucket, some people call it, some people call it
The
whatever. It's
bucket's
for
got like 4 holes in it.
Yeah.
Like two
It's
legs in the
up
front
to
or two
50
legs in the back?
pounds. No.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that we
Any
stick the babies
color
in.
besides
I have a
red,
story
because
about
here it
stuck
becomes
child.
But
pink
we're also
like
getting a
overnight.
regular like swing,
Every one
right?
of them goes pink, and then all the red stuff starts coming off on them.
Okay, let me make sure I understand where these swings are going. So there are swings over by the new park, and there are swings by the old park, by
Right
the
by Gamble.
pavilion.
Mhm.
But the ones by Gamble, there's the tire swing. Correct? Am I on the
Mhm,
right
that's
spot?
one of them.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So
The pavilion is correct. Correct.
there's 4 swings
Where the
across
tire
from the
swing
tire
is.
swing.
Yeah,
We're
there's
replacing
4.
2 of those.
Okay.
Yeah, we're replacing.
So our regular
basically
two like
replacing
big
half of
kid
them.
swings
Yeah.
can still be used.
Yes. 2 big kid swings will remain. We're replacing 2.
Got it.
And
Yeah,
you, and you
we
guys
have
will
to
hold
put
on
them
to
all,
those.
put the
Yeah.
Okay.
smaller ones on one end, kind of towards the stadium,
Okay.
and then leave the other ones the way they are.
Okay. No, we don't. I thought we needed to buy new of the loop swing, the regular swings also. Okay.
Yeah, we always like to keep some around.
Do you need a picture reminder or?
No, I've got it. I've got it on my thing.
Okay, I was like, here's one.
All right. Then community park. Anything else over there? Oh, yay.
With his marker that he paid for, and
Oh. And she has the picture and everything. Y'all sent her a picture. She knows it's there.
I am. He doesn't know who she is.
Okay.
He finally got the picture to me yesterday, and then I've been gone all day long today. Yeah.
It looks good. And I know I told you all this. I know her. She's very sweet. So I'm glad that she got to put that
Yeah,
there.
yeah, very nice lady.
She's very nice.
But no, I thought you wanted the big news. If you don't, that's fine. Survey's done for Gamble Park pretty much. The topo part's done. They're finishing up the last stuff. We've been seeing them over there finishing up the last little, they're actually putting points to every single piece in the park so we can use that map over and over again for the future for adding anything we want to do. But so now since they got the stuff they needed for the tennis court, the design should be finished over the next few weeks to a point of about what we consider 60% or so, which is planned to be on y'all's July meeting, because this is when, once we get 60%, now we start needing to pick out what kind of color you want for the surface. What kind of screen do you want to look at? All those kind of things start coming into play, finally picking out some colors and things we need to get so we can get them into the design. And then we'll go back, finish them off, 90% plans, nearly perfect, although they won't be signed off by engineers, to the August meeting so that we can get them to the council, and depending on which meeting they let us have that on. They will, because they have to have final approval, because we're going to go out and put out a bid package, which they will approve and let us do the bid package out. The bids will go out. That's about a 30-day process in normal. And then when that comes back, they again have to see it and approve whoever was lower bid or best value, whichever way they decide they want to go this time. So we're hoping, with any kind of luck at all, latest bids to be council awarded, hopefully first meeting October, so that they can get started. Usually those guys want to start no more than 30 days. Some of them nowadays, they like to get started even quicker, so that we can be no later than November 1. I'm hoping that we get everything the 30-day earlier with the council so that they can actually start like October 15, so that they will, according to what we've got figured out now, they would be in and have that probably pretty much 90% done by our Christmas event, which I would think would be fun, but just depends on how everything goes. But that would be kind of cool to have it. But from what we've been seeing and the people we've talked to right now, that's a definite possibility because we're looking at tying two. There's actually going to be a parking area that's going, something EDC's working on. So since the concretes and two of the people we just to get rough idea pricing and stuff from, they do both those kind of projects. So, and they would bid it faster and want to get on it faster if they got both jobs at the same time. So that's the hope anyway. That's kind of the current schedule. We're hoping it goes a little bit sooner, but no later than that. Yeah, no, that's what we try to keep doing. That's one, matter of fact, I'm meeting about part of that tomorrow.
All right. That was that also including community park? That falls into that too, right? Yeah, okay, perfect. And then the Veterans Memorial Garden. It looked good. Whatever's in there now looks good. All right. Not that I'm trying, remind me what happened to the volleyball court. David.
Nothing. Not right now.
Okay. I'm going to keep writing it.
Because not any money since the tennis court's moved, so we
Right.
don't have to deal with it.
No, we don't have to move it, right?
Yeah, only if we can, we're gonna look at possible capital project to hard surface it. So that then, because I've talked to a couple of kids that's out there that play, they don't care if it's sand or not. To them,
Right.
you know, it might be better if it
They just
was
like
a
the
solid
volleyball
surface,
court,
because they were
yes.
going, you know, every time it rains, if you want to come out here, you can't do it. 'Cause
Yes.
it's too mucky, and so they don't really care.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, they don't care. So that's me, and then that's a request for a capital next year. It's just I wished I could convince them to let me try to do it now, but
Did we look
if
at
we're doing
changing?
concrete for this other, why not do concrete for that too, and just have it all done in one bigger deal? But I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's.
Carry the sand. Hey, did
Yeah.
we look at switching out the water fountain for one of those where you stick the bottle under it so they can't clog it?
It's the drain that they clog up.
But I'm saying if there
So-
wasn't a drain and you had to have a bottle to get it?
Yeah, they have to have a drain for it to
Okay.
run off. Yeah, they clog the drain up. That's our big
All right,
problem.
just trying.
But
Okay.
yeah,
Anything else I'm missing?
I swear that we should have built someplace just a sand pit and just, but put it way off
Way over
somewhere,
away.
out in the middle of nowhere where they can go play in the sand. Because these kids, man, that's what moms show up out there, and that's the first thing they do. Turn them all loose. Go play in the sand.
All right, next meeting is going to be July the 13th. I will physically not be present in the building. I'm just saying the next meeting will be July the 13th, and I will physically not be here in the building. But I can join via whatever remote system we have going. But I guess I don't count. Is that correct? They have to have an in-person quorum. Does everyone else think they'll make it? Anyone know for sure that they won't be here in July? Okay. So what, there's 4. These 4 would count, correct? Okay, so we'll keep that. Yes. Okay, so we will adjourn at 9:27.
I do have one announcement, though. I did get a message back. Sarah is not available. So you'll need to go to second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adjourned at 9:27.
This
The singer.
conference is no longer being recorded.
You can go to the second person on Irvine is on tap-in for
her trip.
Where's she going?
going to Peak